What up, y'all? Chargers Truther here with Jerbo. Gonna do a live chat. Um, let's see. I'm just going to post the link on the Twitter, and then we're gonna get started. All right,
What up, y'all?
Yeah, Jerbo, tell them about yourself real quick.
I've been a Chargers fan for a long time. I went to San Diego recently, saw the old stadium. They took it down, made it the new stadium for the Aztecs. It looks nice, but I still miss the Qualcomm vibes, and maybe at some point this team should go back to SD, but
Yeah,
they have a lot of fans over there in SD, man. Still,
diehards, huh?
for reals, dude.
Oh shoot, I'm forgetting my beer. Give me one more second. Tell us about the story. What you did in San Diego and stuff. I'll be right back. All right.
All right. Yeah, so you know, went to San Diego, saw a buddy of mine who is in the Navy, and it just felt surreal being around Qualcomm, or the old Qualcomm, like, because I had never been to San Diego before, and I grew up watching the Chargers and just seeing you know, the uh, the games on TV, and the camera angles from the helicopters or whatever, how they're on TV, right? Do are the helicopters? Do they have helicopters that do the? Are they drones that do like the up top shots on the stadiums?
Oh, the
There's no way they're helicopters, right?
I don't know, dude. I've always thought it was like cameras on like ropes or something.
Yeah, dude. I don't know how they get the cameras all the way up there.
I always wondered that how they got those like freaking like bird eye shots.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like crazy, but I remember seeing those shots and how green it is, and ooh, that looks good.
I've never had this one, so I'm gonna try it. Keep going, continue.
Yeah, so I remember seeing those shots, those bird eye shots of Qualcomm, and how green it is in San Diego, and seeing it in person when I went earlier this year. It's so freaking green in that city, man, and it's just a beautiful city. I wish.
Where do you live?
I live in Colorado.
Colorado. Was that your first time to California?
No, I've been to California multiple times. Being out here in the West is like California is like the main spot.
Yeah.
Obviously probably the best state in the nation, but
It's the most.
so say
Yeah.
it again. I
The
didn't hear
most
you.
populous.
Yeah, and I think they have the most they generate the most income, revenue, whatever, money. I
Yeah.
think second is like Texas. So
Yeah.
Texas or New York.
Probably New York, but yeah, something like that. So all right. I remember you were telling me the story how you became a Chargers fan. Was that your dad told you to pick a hat or something like that?
Yeah, I went to like like fans or lids or whatever.
Yeah.
And I was getting into football, and my dad was like pretty much telling me to pick a team.
Hmm.
And I was young, so I just picked I was looking at hats, and I was going for the logos, right? And
Yeah.
I picked the Chargers hat, and I picked the Colts hat, and I ended up picking the Chargers. Um,
Yeah.
and I remember my dad was so happy because his uncle um, is from San Diego, and he had like season tickets to the Chargers,
Hmm.
and he pretty much told me, he was like, yeah, like your uncle's gonna be pretty happy about that.
Shoot, the only thing is that the Colts end up winning a Super Bowl in that time, but
That's what I'm saying, bro, because it was around 2005, 2006.
yeah,
And but it wouldn't have really matter that much to me just because I started watching football. I didn't know much about it, like, you know what I mean. So like the Super Bowl win wouldn't have really have like
yeah,
impacted me that much emotionally or whatever. But I just remember when we beat the Colts in the playoffs in like 2008.
yeah,
That
yeah,
was crazy for me because I had, pretty much the Colts are like kind of like my second team, I guess. I don't want to say my second team, but like they're the team I was almost a fan of.
yeah,
And just seeing them beat, Peyton Manning was pretty cool.
yeah.
And I ended up getting a an LT jersey that day too. I got the hat and the LT jersey, and
Yeah,
I started really liking LT
yeah.
from that point on.
He was the man for sure. Definitely the man. But hey, this beer, this is a Tecate Alta. This thing
Uh-huh.
tastes like water. It's like,
Really?
but like not in a good way. It's like I don't know.
Yeah. Truth or do you drink beer like every day or what?
No, not every day, but pretty much like every weekend, I would say for
Every
sure.
weekend?
Yeah, but like when I do these like videos or if I do like a one of these live
Yeah.
chats, I'll get a beer, just to I don't know, kind of do like a little beer review too, just to add
Oh
something.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, I like beer. I recently drank Michelob Ultra.
Yeah, those are pretty good, right?
Oh, those are real good.
Yeah, those are pretty popular too.
Yeah.
All right, but anyways, what was the first topic on the list? Let's get to these topics.
Uh obviously I think the biggest one that's gonna change the Chargers this season is Kellen Moore and his impact.
All right, that's what it was, Kellen Moore?
Yeah, Kellen Moore.
No, no, wait, I got the list actually. Let me pull it up. All right, okay. I mean, all right. The first topic is what do you think? What do you what kind of impact do you think Kellen Moore is going to have on the Chargers? And how do you see this offense doing in 2023? You go ahead.
Okay, so when he was with the Cowboys, I remember him as a player with Dak Prescott, and then he became Dak's quarterback coach, and
Hmm.
then he became the offensive coordinator. And I mean, the Cowboys have had an awesome offense for the past, I don't know how many years Kellen has been there.
Hmm.
Kellen was a really good quarterback at Boise State, I believe.
Yeah, yeah.
And man, I think he's gonna take this offense to a whole another level. I mean, people like to dog on him because of that final play in the playoffs. Remember with like Zeke hiking the ball? Do you remember that play?
Yeah, I think I do that one like weird ass play.
Weird trick play. Yeah,
Yeah.
and I don't judge him at all by that.
Hmm.
They were bound to lose the game, but if you look at the stats, I don't know if you can pull up his stats or
Yeah.
the Cowboys stats for the past uh, few
Yeah.
years. If it's too hard to find, it's all good. But I remember a graphic that the Chargers tweeted out when they signed him,
Mhm.
and it showed the stats of the Cowboys, and man, they're like top five in like points per game, yards, touchdowns, and I mean that's exactly what the Chargers need. I mean, ever I was never really a fan of Lombardi because
Mhm.
he just wasn't creative enough. He didn't I remember when Justin was a rookie and we had Steichen.
Yeah.
Remember when we promoted Steichen to coordinator?
Yeah.
Man, Steichen knew how to throw the ball down the field. I
Yeah.
remember those bombs those bombs to Tyron Johnson and
Hmm.
Jalen Guyton, and I miss those days for sure. And I think those days are coming back with Kellen Moore.
Yeah.
And I expect a lot of things from Justin Herbert this year. He's going. I think this is his fourth year or fifth year now.
He's going into his fourth year.
Fourth year, so he's had some time to mature.
Hmm.
I expect a lot.
Yeah. Well,
And a
here,
lot of people
let me
think
pull
40
up
touchdowns is reasonable.
40. Yeah.
40, yeah, with
Yeah.
all the weapons that
I
we
think
have.
Tom Brady broke the record with like 50, huh? So yeah, I don't see why Justin Herbert can't get 40 touchdowns. I mean, that's a lot. That's a ton of
That's
touchdowns. But
true. I don't know about 40. Those are just what people think, or they overhype it. Obviously he's an amazing talent, top five quarterback in the
yeah,
league. I expect at least 35 touchdowns.
I would say at least 30. I mean, I would. So my opinion on Kellen Moore is that he's had a lot of success with the Cowboys. They've made the playoffs pretty consistently. He's had like the first two years in 2019 and 2021. He had the number one yards in the league. You
Yes,
know,
sir.
offensive yards. And so pretty much he's had a lot of success there. He's had a balanced offense. He was fifth. he was fifth, 17th, ninth, and ninth in rush yards. So that means that he's getting a good run game going. He
Yeah.
understands how to run the ball, which is something that I think we've really, really struggled in. And I'm really, yeah, Lombardi. I don't know. Our offense just struggling a lot last season. It just seemed like Justin Herbert had to just throw it so often and just pull us out of so many holes. So yeah, I like the idea of Kellen Moore coming in, hoping that he brings some creativity, some um, ingenuity, innovation to this offense, and using
Yeah.
the that he has to balance this stuff and just hit these defenses with like from all angles, and just have Justin Herbert slicing it up and just doing whatever at will, whatever he's going to do to these defenses, and I think that
Yeah.
he can take us to the playoffs for sure, help us win some playoff games and stuff. So yeah, I'm pretty excited.
Yeah, and we could transition into our rookie this year, who's going to help us a good amount. I don't want to say too much because we still have Keenan Allen and Mike
Hmm.
Williams, but Quentin Johnson can be that X factor,
Yeah.
and I'm not sure if he's going to win Rookie of the Year just because we have those two other guys on our team.
Hmm.
But man, I expect some good things from him too.
What up, Luigi? I think that's Will. I told him to come through, but yeah,
You
carry on.
know, let's see. Quentin Johnson, you saw that video of him do a one-handed catch in practice?
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, a lot of people were knocking him in the pre-draft, saying that all he does is catch with his body and
Yeah.
stuff like that. He has the best like fundam I don't want to say like fundamentals, like foundation of all the draft wide receivers, just
Well,
because of his size.
I think he had the size over those main
Yeah,
receivers. They were kind of little dudes. Quinn
yeah,
Johnson
exactly.
seems like more of an all-around guy.
Yeah, and it makes sense because LT was from TCU, and
Hmm.
and so he probably put in a good word. But man, I'm really excited actually about Johnston and Kellen Moore because you know we also have Guyton too, and
Yeah,
then
Palmer,
Palmer and
Arius Davis,
who? Oh yeah, Darius Davis.
fourth-round pick, this fast guy.
Yeah, I hope he's our little Tyreek Hill, but we'll see. We
Yeah,
we haven't had good success with our fourth one right receivers, right? Remember we took what's his name, Joe Reed?
yeah. Joe Reed never really panned out.
Yeah, so you know, and then with Kellen Moore, I hope he uses Parham more too, Chicken
Yeah,
Parm,
yeah.
because
Oh,
dude, that dude's a monster, bro.
he's
He's
tall as
like the
hell.
size of LeBron.
Yeah, he's tall.
Like
Well,
how you know
height.
what I mean? He's like 6'9", dude,
Hmm.
and he's got some weight to him, but man, we need to be throwing the ball. And I know you're an advocate to running the ball, but
Hmm.
um,
Yeah,
you read the stats that Moore's offense, he's had top 10 offenses with running the ball. So
yeah,
you know,
yeah. That's
probably
the
gonna yeah, we're probably gonna run the ball with Spiller
yeah.
and Eckler. Probably Spiller, I think, is gonna have a big opportunity this year.
Yeah, and one thing I would say is that regarding the Quentin Johnson pick, obviously, you got to always be excited when you're bringing in beasts and like weapons and good players to the team. I'm hoping that Quentin Johnson was Kellen Moore's pick. I hope that's who
Yeah,
Kellen wanted so that he can really do what he's going to do with this offense. Hopefully, it wasn't just a Tom Telesco pick overruling people. Hopefully, it was, you know what I mean, Kellen
oh
Moore.
yeah,
That's who he wanted.
oh yeah, for sure. And I at the time I wanted Jackson Smith, but
Hmm.
he's a slot guy, and our slot guy is Keenan, right? And I think Keenan is best in the slot, so this helps Keenan too because Keenan's just going to be primarily in the slot.
Hmm.
Well, you have your two jump ball guys on the outside. We just need to stay healthy, to be honest.
Yeah.
And
Well,
health's always been our concern. The Chargers for years, it's been our concern, and you know, just hopefully, if we're healthy, we're gonna have I'd say a top 5 offense, to be honest. And I think
yeah,
our wide receiver room, I'm not trying to be biased, but I think, to be honest, our wide receiver room might be the best in the league,
could
just
be.
because people I think underrate Johnston a lot.
Hmm.
and Keenan was hurt. You know, people forgot about how good Keenan was,
Hmm.
and Mike gets hurt, but Mike's a freaking amazing wide receiver. You know, the only other wide receiver room I could think of is the Bengals.
I like
But you
this.
know,
Like,
huh?
I like the Seahawks. They got in Jigba, DK,
Yeah,
Bucket.
true. But let's see. So let's do some comparisons here. Let's start with the Bengals and then we'll go Seahawks. So I'll take. I say that Keenan and I'm biased here. I say that Keenan and Jamar Chase have around the same talent. Okay.
I don't know, man. I think I'd probably take Jamar, but just he's younger. He's
True,
young.
but I'm just being biased here. So I'm gonna say they're the same. And then
Okay.
I'm gonna say that Mike Williams is better than T. Higgins.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
then I'm definitely taking uh Johnston over Tyler Boyd.
Yeah. I think.
So let's say that Jamar is better than Keenan.
Hmm.
And what's it called? And T. Higgins and Mike Williams are the same. Let's say they're the same here, right? And Jamar's better than Keenan.
Hmm.
I think that Johnson is that much better than Tyler Boyd that it makes the Chargers room better overall. You get what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
No, I do. You add the differences between them. Just sum it all up. So
Yeah.
I would take the Chargers over the Bengals. Although Jamar Chase, I think, is better than any of our receivers. Well, got to
And,
see. Got to see how Quinn Johnson pans out. He hasn't even played it down, but uh,
yeah.
from what we've seen so far, I think I would take Jamar Chase, but
Yeah.
overall, take our receiver room.
Yeah. And then so, I'm just saying that because I'm biased but obviously yes, Chase has better stats than Keenan. And he's younger too. But I'm saying I think Johnson is that much better than Tyler Boyd that it makes the overall of the group better than the Bengals. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And then if we go to the Seahawks, I'd say that DK and Keenan are about the same talent wise.
still maybe would take DK. I love Keenan,
Yeah.
but DK is younger too.
Well, I don't want to look at youth or anything. I just want to look at talent because
Okay,
Keenan's route running I feel like is so underrated. People don't know that much about Keenan's route running.
that's true. That's
He
very true.
has his route running is absolutely insane. Like
Yeah,
I think, to be honest, Chase even looks up to Keenan
probably.
regarding his route running.
I feel,
I
I feel like all receivers would do.
true. So I say let's just say DK and Keenan Allen are the same, and I'm definitely taking Mike Williams over
Lockett.
Tyler Lockett
I mean, they're
and
different.
Johnston. Say it again.
My Williams and Lockett are like totally opposite, but like
Yeah,
yeah, no, I don't know. It's a tough call, but Mike's a great player. Yeah, I
yeah,
can see it.
and and let's say Johnson and JSN are about the same.
Hmm.
So Mike Williams helps the overall there because of how much better he is than Tyler Lockett. But
Hmm.
if you look at all these posts online, like no one ever mentions the Chargers wide receiver group as being one of the best in the league.
I feel like
And I just
nobody.
think
I feel like nobody wants to give the Chargers credit for anything.
true, true, and it's fine because it's a what have you done for me lately league. That we've had too many injuries the past season, so people kind of forgot about the Chargers. But
Hmm.
I think Keenan is freaking still amazing.
Yeah,
He gets open like so easily.
he's like
He's
security.
smart. Yeah, he
Yeah.
is so smart and he gets open so easily. He has such a great knowledge of football,
Hmm.
and his route running is insane. So um, I can't wait to see what those three guys are gonna do. They just need to stay on the field.
Yeah, definitely. I know, and they're getting older, but we're hoping for a big season this year. We made the playoffs for the first time in like 3 years last season. Now we're looking to start winning some games and start pushing the freaking Chiefs, the Bengals, and the Bills for that for that AFC championship. And I think we're loading up and we're about to make this run. I think the biggest question mark for us though right now is obviously our running back group and our offensive line depth, because
Yeah,
we all say like, yeah, we got to stay healthy and stuff, but like, bro, it's football. Like there will be injuries. I guess some
exactly.
seasons more than others, some less, but Got to be ready. Got to be ready for that. Oh dang! I think Jerbo dropped off right now. So I'm gonna take the reins over. I'm here doing live chat by myself. Cheers to the Chargers upcoming 2023 season. Let's check in what's going on with Jerbo. Sure, he'll be back in a little bit, but I could run this thing by myself. I'll move on to the next topic though. Next topic was I believe the next topic was J.C. Jackson. So, look, obviously J.C. Jackson, we paid him big money um, last offseason. So a year ago, about paid him a huge contract to come be our star shutdown corner, lock down a whole side of the field. Lock down the other team's number one receiver, lockdown Jamar Chase, lockdown freaking Jefferson, from the Vikings, whoever it may be. That's what we're paying for. That's what we're paying for. That's what we're hoping for. But last season, he kind of struggled. He's in a new defense, new coach. He's with the Chargers. Obviously, it's not the Patriots. Different system. Patriots, run that ship much differently, I think, than the Chargers do. Patriots have had a lot have the Patriots have had a lot of success as a whole. Chargers kind of have been a little bit disappointing. Let me see. All right, here we go. Jerbo, you there?
Yo.
What up, bro?
Well, let me fix this real quick.
I was just
me off randomly.
Yeah, it's all good. No, but I was already talking about JC, talking about what happened last season. We paid him big money to shut down another team's number one receiver, whether it be Jamar Chase or a Jefferson. But he had a kind of disappointing. Got injured. Very it was a bad injury. Feel very bad for him. So we're hoping that he comes back and evolves or turns into that number one shutdown corner that we were hoping for him to be. So what do you think, assuming that he plays week one, how do you see that playing out for us? What do you think?
He was paid to be a really great player.
Mm-hmm.
And all I know is he just better hold his end of the bargain. Just because, man, I was expecting a lot from him the first year. And then he was getting beat by people like Justin Watson on the Chiefs, and like like fifth wide receivers, you know what I mean? Like on the depth chart, like not even starting wide receivers.
Yeah, he looked like he was uncomfortable out there. Like he was a little unsure of himself, lacking confidence.
Yeah, and I think it has to do with the defensive scheme. It was new to him, so I think having another year, another offseason under his belt, he's gonna, to be honest, I'm expecting a lot just because, and I think he will prove us right, because he knows that he got paid a lot, and he knows that he has to study the playbook, and he's been in the gym grinding. I've been seeing, and if he can come back and be a top 10 corner in the league, I think he's going to change our defense a lot because
that's depth.
Because we still have Asante, and we have Michael Davis.
Yeah.
And we have the best safety in the league, Derwin James. And
like when the signing came through that we were signing JC for a huge contract, honestly, I'm not gonna lie, I didn't really like that. I didn't really like that idea because I've never really worried too much about our pass defense. I worry a lot more about our rush defense, which is just so bad. It seems like every single year we're so bad in the rush defense.
Yeah.
Pass defense is just like, just if they kill us through the pass defense for a change and our rush defense steps up, then I'll take that. I'm tired of seeing the same problems every single year. But and Jason Jackson seemed like Brandon Staley really liked him. So all right, we'll We'll see what he's got. Gonna give him a chance. Last year was disappointing, and yeah, we're hoping that he comes back and really steps up. And what I'm expecting from JC is not even gonna be like a freaking beast of a corner, like a top five corner. I'm just expecting him to just be a solid starter. Maybe get a couple picks, a few picks on the season, and just put in that work. And be a solid contributor to this team. And I think that'll it's honestly, it kind of looks like a bad deal already, but
Yeah,
it's only 1 year, so it's hard to predict the future.
that's true. And so we'll see about that. We
Mhm.
like you said, we have a good pass. We've always had a good pass defense, but our rush defense freaking sucks. But
Yeah,
who's gonna help out a lot is Eric Kendricks.
yeah. That
Man,
was a good pickup, I think, for us.
yeah, Eric Kendricks, that dude's a dog, man. He
Hmm.
was what happened with Eric was they changed the defense in Minnesota,
Hmm.
and so he kind of wasn't as good as he used to be.
Hmm.
And I think it was just because the defensive scheme was changed. He wasn't as comfortable.
Hmm.
So I still believe that, man, that dude's one of the best. Could be one of the best linebackers in the league
Yeah,
in the right scheme.
yeah.
Because he's proved it before. He's been all pro a few times already, and you know I think I just hope he's comfortable in this defensive scheme because he wasn't the last couple of years in Minnesota, and that was the reason why they kind of moved on from him because you know in sports and even in your job, um,
Hmm.
the boss has the say so. The boss is gonna do what the boss wants to do, and if you're a great talent, but if you don't fit the scheme right,
Hmm.
they're gonna move on from you because the boss has the final word.
Yeah.
And in this case, in Minnesota, the defensive coordinator had the final word, and
Mhm.
there's 11 guys playing on defense, obviously on offense too, but you know, it just he I think he just needed a change,
Yeah.
and so I'm excited for Eric. I think he's gonna help our run defense a lot, and I'm excited about our third round pick, Henley.
Yeah. Yeah.
That dude's gonna be really good. He reminds me of Kaiser White,
Hmm.
and I'm not too positive about Kenneth Murray just because the dude was a first round pick and he hasn't really proved much. And so I think, to be honest, I think Henley ends up taking Murray's spot.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. It could be. Well, starting off on the Eric Kendricks thing, obviously this guy has been a very good linebacker. He got first team All Pro in 2019, made the Pro Bowl. Apparently, he's only made one Pro Bowl, but he's been a very solid starter. He's got 919 career tackles, 15 sacks, four forced fumbles, 9 interceptions, three defensive touchdowns. Even I'm reading off Wikipedia.
yeah,
Um, he's 31 though now, so he's getting a little older. And playing on the Vikings. The Vikings are another team that has kind of been disappointing, kind of similar to the Chargers. Like
yeah,
not getting to the Super Bowl, not getting to like being a good team, but not really
not good
being
enough.
not a great team.
Yeah,
So yeah, we're hoping that Eric Kendricks comes and brings some like leadership, bring leads this team with by example. Obviously by vocalizing, giving his experience, and showing rookie Diane Handley what it takes to be a great linebacker. And also showing Kenneth Murray, because Kenneth Murray now is in his he's in his contract year. So I feel like players always play their best in their contract year. So I don't
yeah,
know. Kenneth Murray might come out
true,
as a revived player,
true.
and we'll see what happens, bro. I don't know. We got three linebackers that I think we can have hope with.
Yeah, and you made a good point there, and I saw that recently too. Yeah, that he is in his final year of his contract, and he has something to prove if he wants to continue to play in the NFL. So
Hmm.
that's only going to help us. That's only going to help the Chargers. So,
Yeah,
and as far as the defensive tackles, um, you know, I'd like to get more depth as far as just bigger dudes, but
yeah,
I think this is our best defensive line we've had in a long time, if I'm
Well,
being honest.
Why?
Huh?
Why?
Because, Morgan Fox is kind of a sleeper. That dude is a baller, man. Like, he was always performing. He was always on the field.
Mhm.
Sebastian Joseph Day was paid a good amount, and I remember a lot of quotes about SJD saying that he's like one of the best nose tackles like some teammates have ever played with. And then we have freaking Bosa and Mac,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
and they're both those two are great, amazing talents.
Hmm.
And then we have some beef now with with our rookie from last year, Otto.
Otito Obanya.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I called him Otto. Yeah,
And
that dude.
the second round pick this year, also Thule.
Thule, that's that dude. I forgot about Thule, man.
Yeah.
Dude, Thule's a good freaking player too.
Looks
And
like.
then we ended up getting a undrafted free agent. His name is Jared Clark. And a lot of people thought that Jared Clark was going to be drafted, but he wasn't, and we stole him as an undrafted free agent. And that dude is pretty big too.
All right. I don't know too much about this guy, Jaron Clark. I feel like I've heard about him. He's a big dude, right? He's like
Yeah, Jared.
Jared Clark.
Jared Jerrod.
Oh, Gerard.
Yeah, Jerrod.
All right, let's see what this guy's all about. Yeah, 6'3", 334. Where did he play college ball at? He played
Like Coastal Carolina.
Coastal Carolina. Okay. Yeah, I mean, shoot, add more beef. We got a Matlock, the 6th round pick. So,
Exactly, Matlock too. Yeah, that
yeah.
dude. He kind of reminds me of a Morgan Fox, but I think he's a little bit bigger than Morgan. And
Hmm.
it surprised me. The Chargers posted a picture of Morgan Fox. Oh, and we forgot about Austin Johnson too.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't forget about him, but yeah,
Oh, well, I did,
yeah,
dude. He was
yeah.
really good too, and
He got hurt. He got hurt.
yeah, but they posted a picture of Austin Johnson, Morgan Fox, and Sebastian Joseph Day.
Hmm.
And dude, they all look the same size. I did not expect. I thought Morgan Fox was a little smaller, but
Hmm.
he's not. The dude's pretty big, and he's productive. And Matlock looks kind of like a Morgan Fox clone. So I think we have depth there. We have more depth, to be honest, on the defensive line than we do on the offensive line.
Yeah, no, I know. I think we do. Although I think on the defensive line, I still think we're missing like that beast at the nose tackle. Like obviously, like not gonna have an Aaron Donald, but like that type of, blue chip guy. I think Sebastian Joseph Day is like a good starter, and I think
Yeah,
Austin Johnson's a good starter. But none of them are to me like game changers, like game.
true, true,
But
but
I know they're still good. We could still be good. I guess our strength is at the outside, the ends.
that's what I was gonna say too, man. We're paying a lot of money to back Mac and Bosa.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like it's hard to find. It's gonna be hard to find a star player at the interior defensive line. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I know.
And yeah,
Kind of goes on. Kind of goes on Tom Telesco and how he's managing this team, on how he's allocating the money. Where he
true.
money on. So his record is what it is for a reason. He doesn't get any.
Yeah,
Yeah, we'll see.
but we're also giving so much money to
Receive.
well, yeah, but I mean, like on the defensive side of the ball, what's his name? We're just talking about him, JC.
Yeah.
We're giving him a lot of money, and then I think Derwin is like the highest paid safety in the league.
And he's
Too.
not as much as JC. I don't think. I think that's true, and he's definitely not the highest paid player on the team for sure.
Who's the highest paid player right now? Either Mac or Bosa.
I think it's either Mac or Bosa. Yeah.
But I need to see more production for them, to be honest. If they're getting paid so much.
I mean, Mac played every game. I think
True.
he only got like 7.5 sacks though, but
Yeah.
Bosa missed the whole thing, so everyone was ganging up on Khalil Mack. So yeah, we're gonna need to we got these pieces. We need to see these guys put it all together. But what I'm really concerned about is like the depth behind them is what's gonna make us or break us.
Right, right, and Thule's good, but what Rumph isn't all that,
We're hoping that
and
he steps up and improves.
yeah,
Dang, man, we're gonna have to see more than that. That dude was ineffective.
yeah, he needs some more weight on him if he wants to
Yeah,
be a boss.
yeah, seriously. And I think that's a big reason why we went out to get Thule because we didn't.
Yeah,
Really,
yep,
and I will say, looking at the draft, who we picked, second round D end, third round inside linebacker, another nose tackle, D tackle, Matlock. So you can kind of see that Tom Telesco is trying to address this weak ass rush defense.
yeah,
Um, although I would have gotten more SEC guys, like some SEC dogs, Georgia, Alabama, but
yeah,
it's yet to be seen. But at least he's at least investing in those areas. You know.
yeah. At least he's gone just a little bit better only because of our coach Brandon Staley. I think Brandon
Yeah.
has given him more of an influence on
Mhm,
these better college divisions. Because
mhm.
before, man, Telesco used to draft just like developmental players from like these no-name schools. And it's like or from freaking from Notre Dame, you know?
Seriously. And yeah, I actually just made a video about like 5 players that were looking to step up. I had Isaiah Spiller, that dude needs to step up. Fourth
Yeah,
round, JT Woods, third round pick by Tom
yeah.
Telesco. Had Trey McKitty. I think he was also he was a third
Third
round.
round.
You know, Tito Agbani. I think he was a fifth round, so you can't put him.
Yeah,
But there's like all these guys that like we invest kind of highly in, fourth, fifth, or third or fourth round picks.
yeah.
Like we need them to like be contributors, at least backups that can make an impact.
Yeah, and I hate to say we because it's not we, it's this freaking guy Tom Telesco.
Yeah.
Man, those were some terrible third round picks last year. Dude with JT Woods and Trey McKitty. Or
Yeah.
no. I think JT Woods was 1 year. I think Trey McKitty was the year before with Joshua Palmer.
Yeah.
But man, Trey McKitty hasn't done anything. Like I'd rather have Chicken Parm than Trey McKitty. And that dude's a
McKitty
third
looked
round pick.
yeah,
And,
McKitty
and
looked
Chicken
pretty
Parm was undrafted.
yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah, man.
JT, like he hasn't had any playing time because they should move JT to free safety, but they're gonna have Gilman there.
I feel like
You know
yeah,
what I mean?
I feel like Gilman and JT are going to be playing for that other safety spot. And honestly, it's going to be like Derwin making up the slack for them because he
Yeah,
can just do anything. Derwin can do whatever, because that's how good of an athlete he is.
yeah, but on the depth chart they have JT Woods behind Derwin. Like I don't know why they have JT Woods as a strong safety.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? And I feel
Yeah.
like JT Woods should be better than Alohi Gilman. Like I think Gilman was picked in the 6th round. Like I mean,
Let me
I don't
see.
really like. I don't
Yeah.
want to hate on Gilman so much because he went to Notre Dame, but like,
Did he? Yeah,
man,
he did.
yeah, he's not. He should not be our starting safety with Derwin. Like we need a better duo to help Derwin. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I mean, I think that just because of how poor Tom Telesco's drafting is, we're kind of stuck in this situation where we have to pick now between Gilman and JT. I thought Gilman did okay, like against in the Dolphins game. He held his own and stuff late, like down the stretch in the season. He definitely wasn't getting like embarrassed or anything, but he's still a 6th round pick, and that kind of sounds like a liability, a little bit of a liability. So we're gonna see. Hopefully he steps up because we've had a lot of these guys, 3rd or 4th round picks, that don't step up, just flounder out and just never do anything. So it'll be nice to see a late round pick actually step up and do something for us for a change.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
So
100%.
we'll see. And then we got Jasir Taylor and Dean Leonard. So uh yeah, we'll see what happens with them too.
Yeah.
Yeah, so anyways, all right, man, what's the next topic? Let's see.
Um.
Eric Kendricks offensive line. All right, let's go to how we can beat the Chiefs. What do you think about that?
Okay. Every time we play the Chiefs, it's been a close game. They
Mm-hmm.
haven't blown us out the water. They don't have a true number one wide receiver, to be honest. I don't like they did
Mm-hmm.
with Tyreek Hill. I remember when we were playing them with Tyreek Hill and Kelsey. Like it was just like it felt like gloom because you knew that they were eventually just going to beat us at towards the end of the game because of those two players. But now they
Kelsey,
only have Kelsey.
Kelsey still rips us up, but yeah,
Yeah, but Derwin needs to do a better job on Kelsey. He does a good job, but he needs to do a better job. And I feel like the the Chiefs only beat the Eagles by 3 too. It's like they
yeah,
weren't like this super dominant team.
mm-hmm.
They had so many rookies, the Chiefs did, and they
Yeah,
still won the Super Bowl.
yeah,
So I don't think they're where the Chargers are that far away from the Chiefs.
mm-hmm.
We barely lose to them when we play them, and I think drafting Johnston and bringing Kellen Moore, I think we have a mentality now of we have to outscore these teams and we have to outscore the Chiefs. And
Yeah,
it's going to be easier now that Tyreek Hill isn't there. And I know they just won the Super Bowl, but I feel like Tyreek Hill was such a game changer for them.
yeah,
He could instantly change the game in a matter of seconds because of his speed.
mm-hmm.
But now I feel like we have a chance to outscore the Chiefs,
Yeah,
and I think our time is coming. We have to put all our chips on the table now, because it's hard for a team to go back to back, winning a Super Bowl, right? Winning a Super Bowl back to back years is very hard, and we need to put in all of our chips now. And
mm-hmm.
I think we have a good chance this year of beating the Chiefs. Hopefully we go 1-1. Maybe Kellen Moore surprises us and we go 2-0 against them.
Mm-hmm.
Who knows? I just can't wait to see this offense, this new look offense on the field. And but again, it's up to injuries too. If we're gonna be a healthy team, we're gonna be a pretty dangerous unit, to be honest. And I
Yeah,
think Mahomes is awesome, um, but the dude came out of Texas Tech. It's not like he came out of some like crazy quarterback school. And I don't want to diss on Mahomes because he's the best player in the game right now.
yeah,
But I think the dude has evolved a lot. Like
yeah,
he had a lot of raw talent, but he's evolved a lot. So I think Justin Herbert needs to evolve just like he did. He needs to evolve even more. And I don't think that um, Herbert is that much worse than Mahomes. I think they have similar talents. Mahomes is obviously better, but
mm-hmm.
I think Andy Reid helps Mahomes a lot. And I'm not dissing on Mahomes. I just think that you know I think Mahomes just went to the perfect situation in Kansas City, and you know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? Like, and I
Yeah,
think he can't. The dude can't dominate the division for the next 10 years. Like we can't let that happen. And like we aren't all perfect. You know what I mean? And Mahomes, we can't let him be perfect. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. Well, listen, the way I see it, I think the biggest thing that the Chiefs have is obviously Mahomes. I think he is the greatest player right now. Won the Super Bowl. He's even lost a Super Bowl. But the biggest thing that the Chiefs have is their general manager. I think Brett.
Yeah.
Let's see, Brett
Let
Veach.
be.
Dude, this dude. It just seems like he's just putting it all together somehow. Like he just bring Isaiah Pacheco, Creed Humphreys, the center. Is just now the best center in the NFL. Like
Yeah.
he was he was like a coaching intern or something, coach's assistant and a scout with the Eagles with Andy Reid. So it's Veach and Andy Reid doing this partnership. We know how good Andy Reid is. So both of them came to the Chiefs and just took this thing over, and both of them are just pretty much like maybe the best at both of their jobs, head coach and general manager. And we're stuck here with Tom Telesco, freaking
Right.
weak ass Tom Telesco, can't even do nothing with two Hall of Fame quarterbacks, barely winning two playoff
Yeah.
games in 10 years. So
Ridiculous.
I think it's Brett Veach. And, I'm going to mainly give the credit to Brett Veach. This dude is just getting these players. He let go of Tyreek Hill, and they still won a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
He got Patrick Mahomes, so I think that's the biggest difference between us. And the way that I see us beating them is probably getting rid of our general manager and getting a new general manager in, someone with some guts, some more, more of a backbone, a stronger leader, someone that the players actually want to play for. Actually, like, you can't have this general manager dissing our players, Eckler being unhappy.
Right.
How often do you see a star player on the Chiefs like talking about he's disrespected, he felt like they punched him in the face or something like that? Like,
Yeah.
that's the mark of a terrible manager. It just is. It happened with Melvin Gordon, it happened with Eric Weddle, it's happening with all these different players. It's our general manager that's not good, I think. Although he did get Justin Herbert, he's kind of like expecting Justin Herbert because Justin Herbert might be the best quarterback in the NFL right now. He might be the best player in the NFL.
Yeah.
Uh, but it's
He
a
just
team
needs the talent around him.
it's a team game, and that falls on the general manager to put it all together. Like, that's the dude that's putting it all together. So the way I see it is, yeah, you give Justin Herbert his weapons. You have to give him an offensive line, a rush game, running back, and a defensive line. I think that
Yeah.
a lot of it, so much of it is offensive line and defensive line. Chiefs have Chris Jones. This dude is a monster defensive tackle, and it just seems like they just have like big physical dudes like everywhere in their team, at least in the defensive box. And I think that it just, if you're going to be kind of a mediocre player, I'd rather you be a physical big dude that's going to hit.
Yeah. Exactly. And think about it. Like the Chiefs, like who are their edge rushers? Like they don't even really have any edge rushers that come to mind. But they have
Hmm.
Chris Jones, and that's still enough to win a Super Bowl. You know what I mean? So it's
Yeah.
like damn, like why is this happening? And I think it goes back to the offensive side of the ball, just being able to outscore people with
Hmm.
Mahomes. And earlier, I wasn't giving Mahomes all of his flowers just because, as a Chargers fan, I don't want to. I don't want to see him dominate the
Hmm.
league for the next 10 to 15 years because that means Herbert's not going to have a single chance. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? And we're not all perfect here. We're not He's not a perfect player. He's a damn amazing player, but you know, he's not perfect and there are chances when we can beat him. And so we better swing.
We
We
have.
better swing as hard as we can when those chances come up when he isn't at his elite best. So
Yeah.
we can't let him dominate the Chargers for the next 10 to 15 years because we're going to be kind of in misery. We're just going to be looking up to Mahomes every single season.
And I feel like we can't let Justin Herbert be wasted. Like,
Yeah.
we've got to put this stuff together, man, and let Justin Herbert reach that. He deserves to at least make a Super Bowl.
Yeah, exactly. But think about it too, we're going to have every time we think about going to the Super Bowl, we're gonna have three opportunities to play the Chiefs, right? Because they're gonna make the playoffs, obviously, and we
Yeah.
play them twice every year. So that's gonna be 3 games against the Chiefs.
Yeah.
You know, we have to beat them that third time in the playoffs. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That has to happen if we want a chance at making it to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And it's a team game, and their GM is so much better than ours. And so it's gonna, to be honest, I hope it doesn't have to take a miracle to beat
Yeah.
him that third time.
Yeah. And one thing that I'd like to see is, I'd like to see us just, whoop that ass, whoop the Chiefs, run the
Yeah,
ball. I want to see us just go right up the middle, run the ball right through the Chiefs' teeth, shut them down, stuff them, sack them, and do this in the fourth quarter, and then Justin Herbert do a
Yeah.
play action, then hit it. I want to see Justin Herbert cut down his throws. Like we shouldn't be forced to use our best weapon. We should be able to just, hit him on all sides, and that's what I'm talking about. I just want to out physical them like they out physical us, because I think that's really what they do to us. Obviously Patrick Mahomes is the best, but it's the rest of their team, it's their defense that's hitting us. I mean, the reason we lost was we threw a pick six. It wasn't even Mahomes doing a comeback.
Right.
It was a pick.
And that was because the coaches.
Yeah.
Because the communication with Everett.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. He was trying to come out and stuff, and they didn't let him come out.
Exactly, and he was gassed. So, that wasn't even the players' fault. It was the freaking coaches. That just goes to show you, it takes everyone in the organization to win a Super Bowl.
Yeah,
everyone from the communication to the assistant coaches, to the players on the field, to the GM, to the the people that make those hires. It takes everyone. And I went to go to Kansas City last year to see the game on Thursday Night Football.
Damn.
And man, I was able to hear some of the Chiefs fans' opinions, and they kind of envy the Chargers. Like, they have a little bit of respect for them, but they kind of envy the Chargers so much because they're pretty much like their rival, right? We're pretty much rivals at this point.
Mahomes.
And and I got the feeling they were a little scared of the Chargers, man. Like, because the Chargers can go toe to toe with the Chiefs.
Because we beat them in Kansas City the year before.
Yeah, we did.
I mean, that's the only time. That's the only time Herbert beat Mahomes. Oh, here, HH4. Yeah, nobody can block Chris Jones or cover. I mean, that's what we were just talking about. Chris Jones, the big ass dude in the middle, just blowing everything up. You can't move that dude out of the way. You have to run around him. You can't even push him out. And Travis Kelce just so big and fast, Yeah, let's see. Yeah, and HH4 doesn't really like Telesco either. Yeah, we're all in the same boat. Telesco is just weak. I think his draft record and his real win and loss record is just terrible. So, it's got to be. He's got to be coming to an end, Tom Telesco. He's got to put it together now, or else we're really going to be at risk of wasting Justin Herbert.
True. And I heard another opinion I heard from Chiefs fans when I was there. It was like, they were like, man, we didn't even play that good and we still beat them. And that just goes to show you, like, man, we just weren't good enough. And that's bullshit, because we were good for like a half that first game, and then we freaking choked it. And they weren't even playing that well because we were combating them pretty well, so that they weren't playing their best. And so we have to take that opportunity to beat them, to be better the whole game.
But it's just like, why do we always choke? Like, why do we always choke, dude? It's always like Jaguars, the Chiefs game in that time. It's just like, and I'll tell you why. And after I read this, HH4, Tom Telesco has lived off 2 Hall of Fame quarterbacks, Philip Rivers and now Justin Herbert. And the reason why we always choke, I think, is probably comes from the owners. Weak owners gets weak GM. It just trickles down and creates a culture of weakness where even when we're winning, we don't even believe in ourselves. How are we going to win if we don't even believe in ourselves? We need somebody with some balls, with some guts to come in here and just, be like, nah, fuck all this. Like, we're changing. Like, just like Andy Reid and Brett Veach did with the Chiefs, because the Chiefs were not like, they were kind of loser team too for a long time.
Yeah.
And they just came in, and we need someone like that, a general manager and a head coach, to just come and change our culture and stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And we need to change our owners too, because like you said, it trickles down, and that's going to change the entire culture. And, because it's always been like this for years. Spanos has owned the Chargers, and it's always been like this. And you see other teams, who have better owners, and they win a Super Bowl.
Yeah, man. And again, like, even as a fan, I know what I'm talking about. Just like, even when we're winning, we could be winning by 3 touchdowns. I'm telling you, bro, in that Jaguars game, the playoff game, I still was not sure that I was like very uncertain. I'm like still very worried. We were up 27-0, and
Right.
I still was very worried that we were going to give that away. You know, I was
Oh,
like,
100%. Yeah, because I've seen it before in the past too. I remember I started playing some video games at halftime, and
mhm,
I was watching the game in the corner of my eye, and I was like, yeah, just watch these guys just lose this lead. Like I've seen it too many times before. Like so, I wasn't even really
mhm,
surprised by it, to be honest. And then when the even more choking happened at the end of the game, with the Joey Bosa thing,
yeah,
and and,
yeah,
and then the weak rush defense, when ETN made that 4th and 1, and he
yeah,
got like 20 or 30 yards or something. I was like, yeah,
yeah,
I've seen this before.
yeah,
These guys. I don't know how we're gonna change.
yeah.
Exactly like what this guy just said. Now that's exactly true.
Yeah, very true. Spanos just some people just don't have it, and I don't think
Yeah,
Tom has it. I think Justin Herbert might have it. Phil Rivers maybe had it, but
exactly.
it's as weird as it may sound. It's like a lot of times it's not the quarterback that wins it. It's the general manager. Really, it's
Yeah,
like this
it's the
guy,
whole organization.
the whole thing.
Yeah, and the Chargers, they're just a drama-filled place. I've heard players who have left that team come out and say, "Man, there were so many things in behind the scenes that were just bullshit,"
Yeah,
and it's a toxic,
yeah,
drama-filled environment, and
yeah,
and the only way that's going to change is if we change ownership, if we change all the people who are behind the scenes and who have
and
all those office jobs, all that.
Yeah, and for example, we were rated like one of the worst teams in the NFL for like player experience, weren't we?
Yeah,
And like Gerald Everett posted that picture of that horrible burger, and all these and the players were talking shit like, "Oh yeah, I don't miss those like the team food there." It's just like, yeah, that might not seem like a big deal, but that stuff it's not surprising and that stuff adds up to a loser organization.
yeah.
And as you can add these great players, Derwin, Justin Herbert, Philip Rivers, Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, and
You got
like
to
both
treat them well.
Khalil Mack. But those players, you can't just rely on these players to change everything. You have to start up there. You have to pull the problem out from the root. You can't just,
Yeah.
yeah. And
You're an NFL organization. You need to be treating these players the best you can. Like you can't just
exactly,
be giving them cafeteria food. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
that impacts your kind of your self-esteem, your self-confidence, the way
yeah.
you're like, what am I doing here? Is like this is just like the food I was eating in college or back in high school. Like,
Like, bro, I
you
can
know,
cook.
say it again.
It's like the players probably thinking like, dude, I can cook better than this.
Exactly. It's like why do I even eat here? I just eat at home, And so it kind of makes the players think, man, this organization isn't all that. Like,
Yeah.
so it puts doubt in their head.
Yeah, and it's already there already is doubt in all of our heads and everything.
Exactly.
And HH4 also hit this nail on the head. The Eckler situation defines the Spanos regime. And that's so true because Eckler is such a hardworking player for us. He's smashes his head, sacrifices his health for us. And now when it's time for him to like speak up, we're just gonna push him down and tell him to shut up. And like now all the fans are turning on him. Now the fans don't like this guy. And it's like, dude,
Yeah, it
this
sucks.
it's like, dude, this is one of our great players, bro. We need this guy to succeed, dude. Like
Honestly, he's
like
led the league for the touchdowns the past 2 years.
yeah, and it's like, dude, we need to wake up. It's not Eckler that's the problem. Like the owners. It's the
Yeah,
management. You know, it's
yeah.
wake up, dude. Why do you think we keep seeing the same stuff over and over again?
Yeah, and even that quote that he came out saying the other day about, "Oh, I'm just obligated to do one more year," pretty much. That's pretty much what he said. He's like, I just have one more year here. So
Yeah, it's like
I
like he's doing.
that's not a good mentality.
It's like he's doing a prison sentence.
Yeah, that's not the best mentality to have, and that's just being like, okay, I'm gonna come to work and collect my paycheck, and
Yeah,
think about it. He's gonna have it in the back of his head, when the team needs him the most. He's gonna have
exactly.
in the back of the head that his
Exactly.
team doesn't value him as much as they should, and he might not try his hardest. You know what I mean?
Exactly. And I know and I agree 100% with that. And the same exact thing happened with Melvin Gordon, dude. And we had just gone 12-4
Yeah,
and won playoff game, 12-4. Melvin Gordon was running the ball like our workhorse back, and then we disrespect him, and now he's upset, and now he's holding out. He doesn't want to play for us. And then it's not a surprise we went 5-11 the next season. We really suffered, and we're hoping that Eric Weddle is going to handle it a little better. But that's just not how you run this organization. That's not how you're going to succeed. When have you ever heard that happen in the Chiefs organization? You don't hear that stuff.
Right. I
It's
don't
it's
know, man. We
it's
can't really do anything about it, man.
Well, all we can do is just keep talking about it and keep trying to expose this bullshit. We have to. That's
Yeah.
kind of what I'm trying to do with this Chargers Truth or YouTube stuff. Like, I'm gonna keep putting these videos out because trust me, I'm a diehard. I watch every play, every year, every season. And I fully can see what's going on. I've been seeing it like my whole life and stuff. And we gotta be vocal about this and try and address this.
Yeah, we gotta try our, but and if nothing's gonna change, I'm gonna temper my expectations and I'm gonna stiff arm the team and just watch it from afar, because and not get so emotionally involved in this team because I know what's gonna happen in the end, so
Yeah.
we just hope for change.
Yeah, and here HH4 has another good point. Telesco and them hire cheap, inexperienced guys like puppets, and then they use them like scapegoats when it doesn't work. Like if we don't succeed, it's gonna be Brandon Staley's fault. It's gonna be of course it's not gonna
Yeah.
be. Of course, it's not gonna be on Telesco. Like he's gonna hide. He's gonna be silent, and he's just gonna let everyone else take the blame. Just like Anthony Lynn. Just like I don't know who, Mike McCarthy, or who was that guy before him? I don't even remember.
Yeah, I don't remember either.
Whatever, the head coach. But yeah, they just use them like scapegoats. So, but anyways, the thing with me is that like I see the Chargers kind of like as a family that I can't change. I just have to be involved in this stuff. So we'll see. But the way I see it now, I predict us going 10-7 again and going 1-1 in the playoffs. My exact same prediction as last year. What I would like to see us do, get another good running back, a beast running back, invest in running back because Eckler's unhappy. Someone needs to run the ball and invest more in this offensive line and defensive line. So that's what I think.
Yeah, I think I think they'll go 11-6, just one more game than what you said,
Could be.
and we'll see what happens in the playoffs because I've seen this team many times in the playoffs not perform like they should, and you know we'll see what happens. You know what? It's getting to the point because of the management and the organization and the owners that I don't enjoy Chargers for football as much as I used to.
Yeah.
And so I'm going to temper my expectations. Like I said, I just, understand that, you know, in the end, I might be more of an NFL fan than a Chargers fan, like just because of how bad this team is run. And you know what I mean? Like I'm going to start finding more enjoyment in seeing other teams play. And you know what I'm saying? Because this team needs the results, and if they don't show me the results, then I know that it's because of management, and
Yeah. Yeah.
so we'll
And
see.
here, HH4 keeps on dropping these great points. So don't be surprised if Herbert doesn't want to resign. I would be surprised if he doesn't come back, but like he's throwing it more times than any quarterback in NFL history. Like we're literally piggybacking on this dude, forcing this dude to freaking carry us because the rest of the team, Tom Telesco hasn't done a good enough job to, surround him with talent. I mean, he's giving him receivers, but it's like, what about the run game? What about the defense, and like the basics, the fundamentals, like give this guy a break. Justin Herbert throwing it more times than any other quarterback in the history so far. And that's just what kind of quarterback would want that? Like you want to go to a place where you don't have to do that, And it's just all these marks of a bad organization. Obviously, we're Justin Herbert fans because Justin Herbert is such a good guy, it seems, and he's just such a good player, such a talent. How lucky are we to have him? And
Yeah.
and he does have, I think, what it takes to be great, go to a Super Bowl. But again, like again, it's a team game. It requires more than just the quarterback.
Yeah, and so like I said earlier, I'm gonna temper my expectations and just kind of hold my emotions back and in order because I know that
Yeah.
I'm not sure if Spanos is ever gonna bring this team to a
No.
Super Bowl.
Well, he's probably not going to sell it because that's their family wealth. So why would they? They're making money.
Yeah,
That's they really care about it. So, well, we'll see, man. I will say that through Justin Herbert, anything is possible. Kellen Moore, again, HH4, Kellen Moore needs to save this franchise. Yeah, we're hoping so. I think Brandon Staley has some balls, hoping that these guys can put it together. And, I'm not saying that we have no hope. We do have hope. But we're going to have to overcome a lot of this bad management, bad ownership stuff to make it happen, I think. So yeah, we'll do last thoughts. We're over an hour now. Gonna go make some dinner, I think. And yeah, here HH4 again. Herbo needs to become more alpha and vocal, and I think that's true. He's growing up. He's still, what is he now, like 24, 25 now? He's growing up. He's
yeah,
becoming a man. I saw him flipping off the camera, and honestly, like that didn't really look good. But hey, might be a good sign that this guy's growing up. He's gonna start taking the reins a little bit, and
right.
being a little more aggressive and shit, and like maybe he needs to start calling the plays himself.
Yeah,
And
yeah, and I hope like H4 said, like with Kellen Moore, like hopefully we just outscore teams because of Moore and Herbert and
yeah,
their wide receivers. That's their only. I feel like that's our only saving grace to win a Super Bowl is if these guys are just going to, you
hmm
know, bust their heads and just freaking go at it. You know what I mean? And just score so many points
yeah.
and overcome the defense and the bad management. You know what I mean?
And I don't think that's really a recipe for success, but it might work. You never know.
Right. That's what I was thinking too. Is like we might have to go back and look at the past Super Bowl winners, and see if there have been any dysfunctional owners. You know what I mean? Like dysfunctional management teams that have won, and we have to look and see how did they win. You know what I mean? And
Yeah,
because how can we say that every single Super Bowl winner has had the great management, a great owner,
yeah,
you know what I mean? A great organization. I feel like there's been a few teams out there who have had not the best management that have
yeah,
still won a Super Bowl. So we have to kind of figure that out, and that's our only hope.
yeah, man. Well, we'll see. We'll see what happens, man. Um, Last thoughts that I can give is that anything is possible through Justin Herbert. We know that our owners and management is not very good, but we do got some pieces. Hoping that we can overcome, and crossing our fingers. Gonna run it back another season, and just hope for the best, man. That's all we can do. What do
Yep.
you last thought here, and then I'm gonna chug the last of my beer and call it a night, I
Yeah.
guess.
I mean, my last thoughts were just basically, we have to rely on Herbert and Kellen Moore and our receivers. I think that's our only opportunity
Hmm.
to win a lot of games, and because we have to overcome this bad management,
Yeah,
or else we're gonna be fans of misery for the next I don't know how many years until
I mean, it's
Spanos sells the team.
already been this long, so yeah,
Yep.
yeah. All right, man. Cheers.
Cheers.
Hey, I gotta say, if you ever see the Tecate Alta, do not buy this. This thing sucks. This thing isn't good at all. So, yeah. All right, that's it. Thanks for joining. Let's do this again, maybe a couple weeks or whenever. Just let me know. All right.
I'm
And
down.
HH4, if you ever want to come on, I'll have you can be anonymous like Jerbo and just like to shoot the shit, talk Chargers, talk football. So, alrighty. Later, guys.
Laters.
Bolt up still till we die, though, right?
Bolt up.
Bolt up. Let's go. All right.